Labour has very obviously got an economic problem. We've seen that in the last few days. Keir Starmer has tried to increase the power of number 10 Downing Street when it comes to economic policy. He's trying to undermine Rachel Reeves. It's almost impossible to imagine that he's doing otherwise with the reshuffle that he's put in place. But there is one appointment that I really want to draw attention to, which is that of Baroness Nemat, or Minouche as she's commonly known, Shafik, who has been appointed as Keir Starmer's senior economic advisor. Minouche Shafik has a long track record of working for the World Bank, the IMF, the Bank of England, the London School of Economics, and Columbia University, where she was in charge, as she had previously been at the LSE, and where she spectacularly failed to manage the student risings of 2024. But in all of these institutions, she displayed one characteristic, and that is her dedication to neoliberal thinking. As a consequence, my suggestion in this video is that she is no recipe for salvation for a Labour Party that is out of ideas. She is, in fact, the most perfect representation of the fact that Labour is in denial of the fact that it is out of ideas. So, who is Minouche Shafik? She's a career insider. After degrees at the London School of Economics and a PhD at Oxford University, she headed for the States, where she was in fact brought up and served with the World Bank, rising to the role of senior vice president, and then at the International Monetary Fund, where she was a deputy managing director, and then to the Bank of England, where she was a deputy governor, and then to the LSE, where she was the boss in charge of the organisation, and on to Columbia, where she played the same role. During that career, which required her to have no real engagement with the actual world beyond that of think tanks, institutions, and academia, she wrote a lot. And in fairness, what she wrote looks to be mildly progressive. She wrote on social contracts. She wrote on tax. She wrote on international development. She wrote about how to tackle poverty and more. So all of this looks to be good stuff from the point of view of Labour. It's very clear that she would describe herself as having a left-of-centre orientation from what she has written. But, and that but is fundamentally important, she has always written within the constraints of neoliberal orthodoxy. And let's be clear, if she hadn't, she would not have got those appointments at the World Bank, the IMF, the Bank of England, the LSE, and Columbia University. Her loyalties lie with the institutions that protect the existing elites and not with the poor, whatever her academic writing reveals. And now she's advising Keir Starmer in his role as Prime Minister to provide him with support against the Treasury. After all, we know he needs that support. He is a man who knows almost nothing about economics. And she is being presented as the intellectual anchor for policy making and the link to Rachel Reeves. Darren Jones might also now help to play this role, but I think it's Minouche Shafik who's really in the driving seat now. And this signals Labour's dependence on the old neoliberal technocracy. They're looking for ideas that suggest they are credible with the financial elites of the world. What Labour is indicating as a result is that it's terrified of breaking with the status quo. And that's despite the fact that, as we know, the hierarchies of economic power that exist in the world are clearly failing. It's quite reasonable to suggest at this moment that neoliberal capitalism is in its death throes. There has been stagnation. There has been financial crisis after financial crisis, and another is to come, I am fairly sure. There has been growing inequality. There hasn't been an ability to tackle poverty. Many developing countries are still deep in the depths of debt and have no way to work out how they can pay it. And households around the world are very often in the same state. They are being left abandoned by the financial system in a way that economists from the neoliberal elite have no answers to. Neoliberal policy has fueled inequality, it's created debt crises from top to bottom within the economy, and the ecological harm of climate change is its consequence. And yet, Labour is clinging to those ideas and the illusion of control that they provide. Its belief in those hierarchies is blocking genuine change. And the truth is that the elites are clinging to neoliberalism for their own good reasons. And that's because, of course, they want to stay in financial and economic and democratic power, because that is what the privileges that neoliberalism have granted to them have created for them. At the same time, that neoliberalism has created the space for Trump in the USA, reform in the UK, and worse parties sometimes in continental Europe. Far-right movements are thriving on the failure of the neoliberal technocracy that has no idea what it is really for. For example, it seeks growth, but nobody within neoliberalism can explain why, or why profit maximization is actually suiting anyone's real interests. Growth is a metaphor for a lack of ideas. But all of this leaves the left paralysed unless they will confront these truths. The fact is that Labour has sold out. It has allowed economic injustice to deepen. Redistribution has been postponed again. It is allowing greater insecurity for workers whilst elites are protected. Public services are under threat again, and fiscal rules are threatening them once more. There is disillusionment instead of hope. And the left, unless it challenges these ideas, is absolutely unable to bring itself into the agenda. So what do we need to do to change? We have to stop the neoliberal technocracy being considered to be our saviours from the fate to which we're being consigned by the very orthodoxy that they have created. We have to challenge the neoliberal institutions because they are now the problem and not the solution. We could start with the Bank of England and we need to go on from there. We have to confront the failures of orthodox economics and its dependence upon growth on a finite planet. And we have to start with ideas that really work. Modern monetary theory, tax justice, democratic accountability, and even proper corporate accountability. These are the things that we need. Minouche Shafik does not talk about those things. As a consequence, she cannot save Labour's economic policy. Labour cannot beat fascism, nor can anybody else, until we sweep away the old and bring in the new. Labour must break from the failed hierarchies of power that have brought us to this situation. We need better ideas, rooted in the desire for real distribution, better services, the taxation of wealth, state responsibility, and economic and tax justice. Only then can politics serve people and not protect elites. Only then might we address people's anger. So, a question. Are you angry? Are you angry with Labour? Are you angry with all politicians from the past? Or are you just confused about where we are? Let us know in the poll below. Thanks for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, please do click the like and subscribe buttons because they do genuinely help us spread the word on YouTube. As importantly, could you have a look at the section below this video where it says more? And there you'll find a link to my blog. And if you follow that for the specific link to the blog entry related to this video, you'll find a transcript of this video and lots of other related material, plus a ChatGPT prompt that you could use to write a letter to your MP on the contents of this video, which will turn you into a campaigner, which will be a great thing to do. Finally, if you do appreciate the work we're doing, can you think about giving us a donation? If you'd like to do so, there's a link below, or you can find one on my blog where there's a Ko-fi button saying, please buy me a coffee. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you again soon.